You can hear me. I'm in kind of a crowded area right now. I'm in Stone Mall. I'm in kind of a crowded area right now. I'm in Stone Mall. So I haven't been live for a while. This has been a few months. And I decided to come back here on like in this really like hectic, chaotic environment. Shopping mall, Stone Sound Mall, San Francisco. And it's an interesting place because when you step into your power, something that I never really talked about before, because I really never thought that it was something that anyone would ever have to deal with. It's something of a natural phenomenon that one is born with true raw power. That true raw power, no one understands. We have to step into it. We have to learn how to adjust it, how to control it. And in one of the most chaotic environments such as this, which is a shopping mall, how do you actually wield it for the greater good of yourself and for the people? Because the first thing that happens is when you step into your true nature, is that when you step into your true nature, there will become followers. There will become people that are attracted to who you are. Mind center, right? Exactly. It's exactly finding who you are, throwing away all that you've learned, and recognizing that this creation that we're born into, chaotic, materialistic, and it's not that, it's more that we're controlled and driven, not by our own self, by other forces. And it's happening all around me right now. And why would I do this after so many months? I think I haven't been on live since maybe May or June, so many months. Because I've actually been homeless this whole 25 year. I've been homeless. And what did I do? I did not care. I made something of it. Every step of the way that you walk, if you're homeless, you find home. You create a new beginning. Create a new home wherever you are. So, why would I do this here? Why would I do this now? Like in this time, in this moment of time. Yeah. Life goes through up and downs. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even matter how the downfalls happen in life. Like, everyone has to like step into your true nature. And the most important thing is when you have nothing, when you're stripped down, that's when you find yourself. It's really amazing because when we're in comfort, when we're in glory, when we're in like the highest moment of our materialistic self, we can't see who the hell we are. It is when you are stripped down naked is when you find your raw power. The power that has nothing attached to it. The power that has nothing that belongs to it. The power that is truly that you are born with. Like your own divine nature. Your own divine nature cannot stand out when you're clouded by people pleasing, by external validation, by every award, you know, our grants, our wealth, whatever it is. And it's not that you have to become like empty. It's not that you have to become broke, but you have to become real. And realness sometimes is like recognizing that your authenticity can stand wherever you are. That's a hard one to understand because who you really are doesn't care about your career. It doesn't care about your reputation. It doesn't care about your culture. It doesn't care about your family, your friends, nothing. Because it's about the soul. Soul recognition is like the highest form of self-realization. So why not do it in the most like murky waters? Like, doing it here is like doing it in murky waters. You know what I mean? It's like, this is the swamp. I mean, it's luxurious, it's comfortable, but like that's like the trick. That's like the hook that the negativity or the like it's really the trick. It's really like the fool's game. It's like, find it when you're in like the fullest of your locked into materialistic society, because then you can laugh at it. Then you can be like, oh yeah, that's what I was looking for, and I kept going outside for it. But it's really like the journey into the inner self. And like, I've been teaching this like for so many freaking years. Yoga, meditation, and all these things, and dance, and belly dance, and all these like these things that like lead to performance. It leads to more praise, right? Leads to more external glory. It leads to more like buying of shit. But your true nature, our true nature, is actually, it's never been outside of ourselves. And so that's the enlightenment process, right? The enlightenment process is that you have recognized the light within you, within the darkness. Like right here, I'm in this like really bright area, right? Everything is light, everything is white. But once you step outside, you're in the darkness again. You have to face like your shadow side. And the shadow side is that everything that you left behind. Everything that you wanted to let go of. Everything that you were traumatized by. Everything that held you back. But like, the enlightened nature looks at that and it's like, oh, that was it. That was fucking it. With every problem-solving activity that we do, even if it's in our analytical side of our brain, right? Because you could find the creative side of your brain, you can find the logical side of your brain. But like, every time we look at it, you find that enlightened nature of yourself. Then you can laugh at it. Then you can enjoy it, right? Because then that pleasure that you're looking for outside is within you. And I constantly put myself in these situations where it's like, how could I find that enlightened nature? Because every time I turn around, I'm finding more darkness. Well, in that darkness is all those hidden tricks. In that darkness is everything that we've been like covering ourselves with a blanket, right? Like when we feel safe and you're in the bed and you put the blanket on, you put on a sheet, you put on like the earphones, earplugs, face mask, you got your own like facial going on, like all those things of comfort that we try to put ourselves through so that our dreams are cool, right? So our dreams help to lead us to reality, right? So when we wake up from that reality of that dream, we're not like boom, 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 heartbeat. That was like a weird dream. We want to like wake up and like that smooth ride through the next day, right? That's really what we all want, because what we do want is peace. This that's going on around me is not really peaceful, right? It's a little chaotic. And I step into the chaos to find what? To find that it really is peace, serenity, true loving wisdom that pours out, compassion for all beings, empathy to see what everyone's going through so that it makes it easier for us to process ourselves. Because that's really one thing it is. When you look at someone else, you're looking to find how it is that you can make your life easier. Let's be real about it. Most people are not here to heal others. They're here to heal themselves. They're trying to find themselves. But on the way and on that journey, you are going to help somebody. You are going to heal somebody. You're going to like have a message. You're going to go to a class. You're going to walk into the door. You're going to go to work. You're gonna do all those daily activities to what? Just get through? Earn a paycheck? No. It's really to settle your soul. And earn a paycheck? No. It's really to settle your soul. And power is about learning how to control the environment within you. Sometimes we can't control this whole environment on the outside. We feel like helpless. But once you control what's going on within ourselves, that allows us to control the environment around us on the outside. And wanting to control, sometimes they're like, oh, you're such a control freak, or no, it's not. You want to control yourself to become peaceful. Because once you control your soul to recognize the peace, then the entire environment around you reflects that. And that's kind of like we talk about, like in psychology, we talk about like the empath versus the narcissist, the greedy versus the selfless, like the opposites, right? Everything is an opposite, day or night. It's called duality, right? So duality is one thing that helps us to grow. Duality is like, it's like the hand of God, right? Because it just serves you what you need to look outside of yourself, that exactly what's going on inside of you is working, is realizing. So like, what is it about? Like, a lot of you know that if you've seen me before, you know I chant mantras, I create prayers, I do yoga, I meditate, I do all these things, right? A lifetime of healing of ourselves allows us to expose what's going on the outside. Once you heal yourself, you don't have to do anything else. Everything else is exposed. Once you heal the childhood traumas, once you heal the teenage traumas, once you go into all of that, then you realize, oh, it's easier to see and take off the veil. And even the veil, you don't have to take it off. The veil of illusion. The veil actually lifts itself off. Right? So, here I am. I'm like, again, like in the most random places ever, deciding like, okay, this is the time to go live again because the background is kind of weird and I'm belly full, you know, full of knowledge. But remember, knowledge can also pull you down. What I want is that you absorb the knowledge that suits you and let true wisdom pour. Okay? And true wisdom is tapping into the divine. Divine wisdom is knowledge that you gain from this earth, but once it transmutes into you, and the way you express it is wisdom. Okay? Knowledge you can read from a book. Knowledge you can get from a dictionary, chat GPT, like everything. Like, right? Open the book, there's knowledge. Someone else made it. Someone else made that history. But the wisdom is exactly who you are. The wisdom is how you brought it out. Because everyone does have a different like personality, right? We all feel a little bit different, even though we feel the same soul being, like the collective soul. We're in it together, but when it comes out, when it pours out of you, that's wisdom. Like when I went to India, a lot of you guys know I went to India for like 3 years, right? Nepal and India. Chanted, learned so many mantras, memorized shit, learned other stuff. Learned stuff from like enlightened masters from years and years and years. Learn stuff from like Buddhas. Learn stuff from like sadhus. Learn something from swamis, gurus and everything. Pumping that shit into me. And guess what? When it came out of me, it was a little bit different. It didn't like match what they were doing. You know what I mean? It wasn't exactly how they wanted it to be. They're like, why isn't she doing it our way? You know what I mean? We taught her the traditional way, and there she goes doing it again some other freaking way. Right? That's wisdom. Because spirituality is a living stream. It's a living stream of where you are in the moment. It's a living stream where you want to be in the future. It's a living stream of what you're creating. And so that's why I always say, okay, I'm a tantric, because tantra always like falls into this, like it should be a living stream. No matter what century you're in, no matter what decade you're in, it should be alive and real, right? Because we're in the present moment. Present moment right now is a little bit chaotic. It's like holiday shopping, you know what I mean? It's like sit down, have a drink. It's like turn on your favorite music, scroll through TikTok, whatever it may be, right? This is the collective. This is the mind of the now. So a person like me, what I do is I go into the mind of the now and like find inside of me what's my true wisdom. Not exactly like attached onto the knowledge that I've gained, because I'm so effing grateful for the knowledge that I gained. But if I'm not going to do something that applies to this day and age, then that knowledge is still history. It's still something for the books. And what we're doing is we're making history every moment, but we're making the history based on who we are. And in this collective, like I speak to the younger generation. I speak to people my age and younger. People older than me, they're like, can't you just do it the old way? Can't you just do it the way that worked, that we've been doing it this whole time? And it's like, no, I'm not going to do it that way. Why? Because that way caused more problems for us now, right? We saw the problems. We lived through it. We're living right now in the problems of our predecessors. Their problems is what's like shadowing over us. And our job is to awaken so that the problems of the elders or the ancestors are not shadowing onto us. Okay? That's what we call a shadow. A shadow is something that's casted over us so that we cannot grow. Or it's a shadow casted onto us so that we still believe old lies. But those old lies are no longer, they were truths at one point. They were truths that helped to keep someone safe. But they're not keeping us safe, right? So, anyways, what I do is I speak so that we look into a situation, every day, right? Every day is different. Every time we look into that situation, you try to create a solution. Once you create a solution, problem solving, right? Once you create a solution, you can move on to the next thing. Once you move on to the next thing, then you're one more step towards your dream, right? What's your dream? Everyone has a dream, right? Everyone has a vision of their greatness. If you're like in my stream, you're only moving towards your greatness. Because I don't really attract people that don't want to step into purpose. Because it's about vibrating on a level so that you step into your purpose and do it, right? It's one thing to look at your purpose and say, like, oh, I'm supposed to be a great person. I know I have something good in me, but I can't do it. No. It's step into your purpose and do it. And it could be very simple. It could be like releasing the veil. For some people, it's stepping into silence. For some people, it is making noise. It is like being chaotic, right? Some people's chaos is their purpose, unfortunately. But that chaos that some people are causing in your life, that's the trigger for you to step into your purpose. And I hate this one. And I don't hate anything. I'm really a peaceful person. You know what I mean? I'm really one that actually does like sit for a long time. But I allow myself to step into this society. I allow myself to drop into the chaos of the society so I can actually find that, yes, it is what I want. It is peace. Right? It is loyalty. It is truth. And truth is actually like brutal. Right? Because the word for truth in Sanskrit is satyam. And satyam is like brutal truth. Like we don't say that. We make it seem like, oh, like it's just not telling a lie. Or it's just being quiet when you need to. But no. Truth is freaking truth. Truth is that you need to wake up to the reality that what we have created may not be serving us to the highest level. It may be serving us to the lower levels. Because we have chakras, right? I've talked about chakras before in the past. But like, truth may be only serving those lower chakras. And if truth is only serving the lower chakras, then what about the higher chakras? What about the universal levels? What about the universal love? If we're not serving like all of it, we'll be stuck in one level. And the level really is, are you serving the lower or are you serving the higher? And your soul always has an oversoul, a higher level. So it's not like it's a negative experience to be only serving our only lower chakras. It is of a lesson to be learned that if our lower chakras are not balanced and served properly within ourselves, we can't step into those higher levels. We can't move into universal consciousness without those lower levels being like regulated. Cool. So what are the lower chakras, right? What are all these chakras? Well, chakras are energy wheels within our center body that when aligned and balanced, we can make proper decisions of what we need to do to step into our purpose. And you will have to eat. You will have to sleep. You will have to wash yourself. You will have to do all those normal daily things, which are perfectly acceptable, so that you are at a level to serve your higher self. Because it is your higher self that is always calling you. Okay, your higher self is demanding you to step into your true nature. Okay, your higher self is nagging you to step into your true nature. And that nagging ass bitch, that is telling you to step into your higher self. That's the divine. And how you relate to the divine, that's your personal spiritual journey. Your personal spiritual journey is not contained in only one religion. For some it may be, and for some it may be a direct path, and I freaking command you if it was that easy, right? If you were able to take the same birth initiation from when you were born, what your parents gave you, and take it all the way to the top, really, I commend you. Because it wasn't easy for me. I had to go here and there, go to India, born in America, Filipino body, go to Philippines, find my freaking indigenous roots, come back here and realize I gotta go to another country. Because my teachings aren't serving here. They're not serving myself here as much as if I would go to another place. So that's why we have social media, because it allows us to take us to a global level, right? It allows us to step out of our comfort zone. The comfort zone is the trap, and I hate that. It's like, we want to be in the plushy bed. I want to be doing this live, like in my bed with like pajamas, you know, like ready to like roll in with everything all tucked in. But I choose to do it in like one of the most chaotic environments ever. Why? Because that's where you can see and reflect who you are. It's the mirror effect. The mirror effect is that, like, you're yourself, then you look at other people and you reflect that they projected back onto you. You reflect it for just a second, just enough for you and them to see what needs the work to be done, right? Because the work that needs to be done is not only within us, it's within us and our outside. We have an external, an objective reality that we subjectively put in ourselves. And the work that to go into ourselves, that's the true work. The inner work. The inner work is a real big journey, because the inner work allows us to find our divine nature. It's sometimes so hard to find a divine touch when we're outside of ourselves. It's hard to find that divine touch when we're busy. And that's what the distraction of life does. The distraction of life allows us to do more things. It allows us to create things. It allows us to work. It allows us to provide for ourselves and our family. There's nothing wrong with going outside of ourselves and projecting, right? But how much of it during the day are you projecting outwards and doing and serving for others rather than looking into ourselves, right? Looking into ourselves is free. Looking into ourselves costs nothing. Looking into ourselves breaks and exposes that the entire construct of this creative world is unnecessary. It's really like a distraction, because everything that who you are is built within you. You are born with it. Parents gave it to you. The divine gave it to you. All you had to do was recognize it. Actually, there's nothing that you really needed to do. Just recognize. Remember. But how do you recognize and remember? Go into a state of peace, solitude. And going into solitude is probably one of the gifts that you can give to yourself. Right? Because what it tells you is that you don't gotta waste money. You don't have to buy this. You don't have to look cute doing that, because you are. You are everything that you came here to do. So that's why we just sit. We just sit. You could chant a mantra. You could do a little like hand mudra. You know what I'm saying? You can scan your body. You can do all these freaking things. Every single technique. There's like millions or thousands of techniques out there to help you. But the true nature is exactly who you are. And who I love is exactly who you are. Right? Remove the veil. Take everything out. Strip down. Get beautiful, right? Get naked. Get real. And it's like, oh, I was just doing too much. Every single day I did way too much than I needed to do, because everything was already in me. That's like the hardest thing. That's what like gurus do. There's this term in India called guru, which guru is not just teacher. It's not just mentor. Guru strips out the ignorance so that you find exactly that who you already were. So like all the work that we do in the spiritual path is like stripping everything away, like taking off all the trauma, like pulling everything out. So it's like you were already that enlightened being. You were already who you thought you were, right? That's not easy to see. I mean, it's like a headache. You know what I mean? It's like wearing like an eye mask. And it's like what we create look at everything that we create in this society, for branding, for merch, for like everything around me, right? Everything around me is telling me that I'm not perfect already as who I am. That's like the big fucking lie. Because you're being who you are is already that perfection. That different being that who you are, which is actually the same as someone else, but your soul shines. Right? So I don't really like to come down all hard, but the reality is that my job on this planet is to help us to uplift our society. My job on this planet is to help us realize that we are who we are. My job on this planet is like to make sure that we step out of the unreal and move into truth. And truth, that step into truthfulness is brutal. That step into truth is an honesty and clarity. That's what allows your gifts to shine. Right? Being true to yourself means going into your shadow side, means embracing your light side without that sense of vanity and ego, right? Ego meaning like, I'm separate, I'm higher. Our ego is our attachment to this body. Our ego said, hey, Jenna, you need to take a birth. You have some work to do. If you don't take a birth, if you don't form a personality, you can't do the work, right? You need to form, because your soul is a void. Your soul is an Akashic record, okay? Your soul, I don't know how to tell you, but how great your soul is. The soul that you doubt, your mind that you feel uncertain of, those emotions that you can't control, that's part of your soul. That's the part of your soul that needs to connect. Once that connects with the other souls, like you and me, once we all connect, then we can realize truth. Then our lives become easier. Then the struggle stops. Then you learn how you can manifest the simple things in your life that you need to grow, to evolve, right? I teach evolution. Some people teach ignorance. I teach materialism in a way that evolves your soul. Some people teach materialism to help them fill their pockets, right? There's a big difference. Materialism is part of this nature. Materialism is what helps us to eat, feel safe, have a roof over our heads, and it doesn't matter how you do it, right? We don't care what job you do. We don't care what your career is, but all that your soul cares is that you do it. All your soul cares about is that you realize yourself. Your soul doesn't care about meeting this person, doing this job. If that career doesn't serve the happiness of your soul, you'll leave it. You'll do it for a short time. You'll do it for a long time, whatever it may be. But soul recognition is the most peaceful way of living. Self-realization. When the self realize the self. That's self-realization. Then you can conquer all your demons. Then you can fight outside forces. Then there's no vengeance. There's no revenge when someone hurts you. Pure love. It's like, I forgave you already. When you were doing that shit against me, I've already forgiven you for what you're already thinking about doing tomorrow. That could stop it from happening. That's the level of love I'm talking about. The level of love that using your spiritual gifts allows you to stop those external forces. So then you have to deal with them. Then it is a non-issue. When it's a non-issue, then it's realized. is to realize a problem solved. A problem solved is evidence of your evolution. A problem solved means that what was in ourself that was disturbing us no longer disturbs us. And that's what they call, like, psychology is like emotional intelligence, right? When you're able to not react to a situation where you normally would react in a bad way or an excessive way. Sometimes we have to learn how to not react so that when it is time to react, it's a proper reaction. That's a response. When we're able to respond in a way that moves people's hearts and minds in a positive direction, that's the kind of realism, and that's the kind of reaction that you want, right? So I'm like one of these flow teachers. Okay, I don't have like a syllabus in front of me. I look at one line or one topic and one teaching and then flow with it. And that's a very feminine way of teaching. A divine feminine way of teaching versus a divine masculine way of teaching. And I was learned and trained by men. All my teachers, a lot of them were men. We have syllabus. We have a way to teach. We do it again and again until we memorize it. Once you get that in you, then you can regurgitate it. Once you're able to regurgitate that knowledge, it becomes wisdom. But when that wisdom becomes realized is when you embody that knowledge into wisdom. And that's what we call embodiment. And that's who you are. Right? Every one of you here is an embodiment of the God, the highest level of God or goddess. Just remember that. Every one of you here, everyone around me, even the ignorant ones, are all the highest level of the divine walking on this earth. We are lucky to be in this body. We are gifted to be in this body. So if we are that lucky to be in this body, and if we are that lucky to have these gifts within us, then why is it that we don't share them? We don't share them because sometimes some gifts shine a light on others that is so bright that it tweaks them. It triggers them. But what I always say is like, never step into the position, and this is a hard one because we will always do it. Never step into a position or an environment or a association or workplace or friend situation where they are choosing to dim your light because their light doesn't shine as bright as yours. People who choose to be on the spiritual path as a focal point of their existence, light shines without question. The light that shines without question, it's like we don't even know it. We don't even know that our light shines so bright that it triggers other people's demons. And this whole demon thing, it's like a nasty one. Because everyone has demons, right? Everyone has a negative side to themselves that they're trying to hide, repress, or forget. But those like old reflections, that's what I want to call them, old reflections. They're old reflections that we've been feeding them. We've been feeding them that they're going to bring us down. We've been feeding them that they're going to keep us like locked in. We've been feeding the ignorance. So the job of the enlightened is go ahead, feed them. They got to eat anyways, right? And that's where all this like ritual and sacrificial work comes. Spending money for other people, doing charities, all these extra things outside of ourselves. That is to feed the external demon. The external demon that is trying to step into your light. And if you're here with me, you're in your light. Because I know the kind of people I gravitate to at this stage in life. It is the highest level of yourself. And I really want to emphasize that because it is so easy for us to drop into our lowest nature in this world. It's so easy to like let self-doubt slip in, for us to like not trust our intuition and our inner instinct. It's easier to be toxic than to be pure. That was a tough one. And it doesn't have to do with like outside external substances. Toxicity can happen from who you are and what you say, how you feel. Right? Like I'm sitting here like drinking sake and like drinking water and like choosing to drink CBD drink. Right? I have all these choices in front of me. And the choice is, am I gonna let toxicity run my life? Or am I gonna transmute and alchemize every freaking negative thing that comes through me and bring it to a higher level? Because we can't stop some of this sometimes. Alright? Alchemization and transmutation is not an easy path to follow. Most people just shy away, say like, just stop it. Just like cut it out. Just move aside and move a different direction. But that's really not possible in some people. Some of us have to work in the environment that we are in. Maybe because we're a child and there's nothing that we can do. We're not in our control of ourselves. Maybe it's because we're in a relationship that's struggling. Maybe we're in a job that it's really oppressive. So you need to learn, and I needed to learn how to transmute in every situation that negative experience into the highest level. That's not easy. Just imagine like every negative situation that you were in, how did you transform that to be something better? That's alchemization, transformation, destruction of the old to make something to new within an instant. That's not easy. To like change it just like that. Right? Problem solving just like that. It's that letting your mind be that quick to recognize the danger. Right? Being in a woman's body, there's danger all around, right? There's dangers that we feel that are different than male feel in danger. Endangerment is really different in this body. Because no matter how strong a woman may be, there is a physical aspect, right, that we have to deal with. That physical aspect is not easy, right? If we can step into our mental and emotional power, could we have maybe avoided those physical imbalances, those physical struggles? Maybe. But the reality is sometimes being in a woman's body, it is tougher. No matter how powerful you are. And there are just some things that we have to learn in this world. So that's why I like step into the power of alchemization. That's why I like step into the power of transformation. And not just push aside that which is dark. Not just only walk with the light. Because in the middle of all that really is the brutal truth. Where self-realization happens. Because not everyone believes in like reincarnation. So you gotta expect or assume that this is it. You gotta assume that this present moment is all that we have. There's no future, there's no past, right? It is really the present moment of enlightenment, every moment, every day. Because unless you can predict your future, unless you can predict how many days and steps you walk on this earth, you can't recognize your own realization. And that is what we want. That's what all the masters want. They all want us to recognize that, yes, you can do it in this life. But if you can't, made some mistakes here and there, you didn't make up for them, yeah, take another life. Do it one more time. But then it becomes this, do it one more time. And then you do it one more time when everything is in your hands now. And that is we get. Everything is always in your hands now. Right? All right. Any questions? Comments? This place is going to close in 30 minutes, so that's why I'm just kind of like wrapping it up. Because the reality is, like, it is important to recognize that every step of the path, there are choices. And those choices, they lead us up and down every day. It really is like a level, right? It's like a lever. We assume we're going to live like 100 years, right? Hopefully. 80 to 100, 80, like 90, 100 years, right? Some of us less, some of us more, depending on the choices we make. Depending on the choices that we allow ourselves to step into. The choices that we step into and then the divine like pulls us out of, right? That's grace. Divine grace is your protection. I haven't really talked about this like concept, but divine grace is your protection that if you were supposed to live 120 years, you would. That you wouldn't die at 80. Divine grace is that if you had a dream when you were a kid, you're going to follow it through. And there's nothing that's going to stop you. Divine protection is going to make sure that shit happens. Right? That's divine grace. That's divinity. The divinity is that which protects you and allows you to complete your highest purpose of your soul. And I don't want to tell you what that is because it's like something you got to figure out for yourself. Because it's not your job. And it's not your family. And it's not your culture. And it's not your house. Right? That's not your sole purpose. Your sole purpose is ingrained in your soul. And all we need to do is recognize, remember, reflect, and let that shine. So let's sit with that for a moment. Because I talked a lot and you listened a lot. But the important part is that you feel. And that is that you feel everything that the divine wants you to feel. He or she or they want you to feel this. They want you to feel the love. So that you emanate it to all beings. That it's emanating from yourself. And that you never let this go. Because there will be down days. There'll be tough days, of course. That's like natural. There'll be like tough years, in fact, sometimes. Decades. Who knows? Of darkness, of heaviness, of density, of attachment. But within all of that, when you let all that go, could you bring peace into yourself and your environment and everywhere you go? Because when you take that last breath, all you're going to want is peace. You're not going to want all this noise. You're not going to want anything but allowing yourself to just let go. So go ahead without any mantras right now. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Tongue behind the teeth. Soften the forehead. Soften all those tight areas in your brain and your mind and your face. And let it go. And allow your true nature to step right in. Allow your true nature to reveal itself. Allow everything that who you wanted to be expressed. And step into that place where all negativity, all temptations, all distractions, all the hooks, all the traps become the greatest weapon, the greatest tool for you to easily slip into your divine nature every single day, every step of the way. All right? Not gonna do any mantras today. Some days it's just pure Zen teachings, pure just knowledge, wisdom, imbibe, step into the silence within the distraction and transmute. A lot of the work that you do is transmutation. You don't even know you're doing it. But if you can problem solve, you can transmute something. You can alchemize something. That's all in like the same framework. Like right now, everyone's transmuting Christmas shopping into something. Right? Well, I'm taking that energy of the Christmas shopping, right? Satisfying, pleasing our family and friends with stuff with the money that we've earned all year for something good, right? Worth of price, family gatherings, whatever excuse we give, right? But transmute all that into the highest level for ourselves and all beings. And I hope you can do that too. So that if you have to step into the mall the next few days for whatever reason, the last minute shopping or whatever the heck it is you have to do, that you recognize that that is a chance It's a chance for you to step into your higher self. Like every choice we make is a chance for us to step into our highest being of who we are. And we can either choose the lowest and like going down in the dumps in it, and sometimes we may be for a while, or you can use all those little chances to step into the highest and the highest good, right? Well, that's the flow for today. My name's Jenna Marie Nuevo, in case you don't know me. I've been a yoga and meditation teacher for at least 25 years. Maybe more, maybe almost 30 actually. And I did other things along the way, you know, like I became a producer. I used to sell TV advertising. I used to be a fire dancer. I used to be a belly dancer. I mean, I like put all these things together. But like when I think about myself, I was really ultimately a spiritual teacher because of my gifts. Some gifts that I was born with and some gifts that I developed over time. And the idea is that when all of us step into our highest nature and our true greatness, it's not something that is like that easy. It's something that we cultivate through our experience. We may have been gifted with things with our birth or our family situation, but what we make out of it is the quest into the higher self. And that quest into the higher self answers all the questions that you have. Who am I? Why am I here? Why this bad thing happened this time? All those things, right? And I want you to be able to answer them for yourself. Imbibe and embody your true wisdom. Use the knowledge of the world that's been given to you. Take it into yourself. Transmute it so that even if you gather negativity or improper knowledge, unreal or false knowledge, that you're able to make that into the true, wise being that you're going to be. Wisdom is one of the greatest gifts, and spiritual wisdom is one of the highest gifts that you can share amongst your friends and family. So I hope that you continue on this journey, because I am a teacher of teachers. So hopefully that you one day, you teach something that you learn about yourself, because it's not one thing to perfect it. Like perfecting a skill or a craft, dancing, singing, whatever the hell it may be, writing, computers, whatever it is. Those are skills that you've mastered, but teaching those skills so that someone moves out of ignorance, not just teaching the skill itself. Teaching the skill itself is imparting knowledge, but teaching the skill itself so that it removes ignorance, so that one finds their true divinity, is a mentor or a guru. A lot of our job is to strip away the layers that were preventing us to find our true nature. The hard part is stripping away the shit, so that the easy part is that your soul shines through. And feel that. Let that sink in. Imbibe that. Then share it with this collective, because this is a pretty good one. It's a pretty big one. And it's one that actually responds to each other in a good way. It's very funny, right? This TikTok collective. It's kind of a comedy act sometimes. And that comedy act allows you to like look at life, laugh at it, recognize the traps, recognize the control and manipulation, and step outside of it and see if it's working for you or not. Because you have the power to create that which serves your highest good, not the lowest good, not those like medium things. Like everyone else got that taken care of. But if you're in this stream, it's to serve the highest. All right? Take a deep breath in. Through the nose, inhale. Sitting up tall. Roll the shoulders back. Drop them down. Exhale. Everything that you have been searching for is within you. Everything that you've been looking for and trying to validate outside of yourself is within you. And share it. Express it. One day at a time. Never look back. Embrace the past memories, the past experiences, and just step in your true nature. Take one step every single day. Recognize that every single day, every bit of laughter, every little like smirk where you let the past go, it's just one more step of recognize who you are. Have a wonderful night.
You just got one more that you have to pay for, right?
Yeah.
Just the one more? Okay. Did you want to do that now, or did you want me to come back?
Here. It's all here.
All the other two have already been paid for. It's just one more that needs to be paid.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
So you can keep that.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
See? Paying the bill at the restaurant. Simple as that. The most like normal thing we do every day when we go out. Handles it. Shows that the ease and grace of your life just, it's to like lighten the load. Lighten the load of the material world so that we can actually do things in our highest self. Meaning like all the technologies that we are born into this modernity are here to serve so that we can just like do this. I mean, that's really what it's all about. And with your positive energy, you can control that. And it's not a controlling way, but it's just more like your energy allows it so that the pieces step into easier so you can step into your true nature. Alright. I gotta go. This place is gonna close in 15 minutes, so I gotta like jam out of here. Alright? Take care. Bye-bye. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.